The hate army troll.
It's the hate army,
bro. The hate army.
Shout out to hate.
Good vibes to the
Shout
hate
out to
army.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out
Shout
for
out to
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for
Shout
hate.
out for hate.
Now, before we get into any important topics, like my determination on Mortal Kombat 1, my follow-up to my discussion about like Lies of P and how it's going right now with the playthrough and the schedule and all of that. And by the way, game news, we got a good amount of news today to talk about, important news, I would say. I do have an update, and the update is a good one, but as usual, it's an update that is not surprising, and sadly, I wish that there was more of a positive, Jasper. Now you're going to eat wires? I mean, this is getting ridiculous. Stop this right now. Jasper, come on. I'm already at my wit's end today. I don't need you behaving like this, okay? I don't need you behaving like this. Okay, let's try to get back on track. So, what I was going to say was, there's a positive update on a story we just talked about recently, but it's not necessarily a definitive resolution, nor is it really a solution. It's just, a resolution for now. Allow me to tell you what I mean. So, I just talked about this a day or two ago. I had mentioned to you guys to not be worried and not be upset, but it looked like YouTube view counts had issues. Case in point, since I had started playing Lies of P, which is a game that I'm telling you is absolutely outstanding. I feel it stands among the quality level of real FromSoft games, that it feels like Bloodborne 1.5, and it's everything you would have wanted from this style of game, despite the fact that FromSoft did not make it. I'm loving it, and even though, listen, this game is not easy for me, I'm dying a good amount to certain bosses and enemies and challenges, and people are enjoying when I die and this frustration, but then you like the feeling of, fighting a tough boss several times and getting the pattern down and overcoming the boss and continuing on. The plot line is good, the graphics are good, right? Like, everything's good about Lies of P. But all of a sudden, I played it now for, about a week? Actually, as of today, it has been a week, because if you remember, it released a day early last week. The views on the videos on YouTube just seemed abnormally low. The streams have been doing good. Like, every time I stream Lies of P, we get great attendance and support and everything. So, obviously, people who are watching it are enjoying it. So, why did it look like the playthrough barely had any attention? After, like, 2-3 days, part 1 of the playthrough said it had 2,000 views. 2,000. That's the kind of views I would expect for the beginning of like a chill downtime playthrough like Chrono Trigger. That's not what I would expect for a brand new hot release that everyone was dying to see me play and see if it was any good. So it didn't really make much sense. Now, as I told you guys, after seeing this happen to my channel for a day or two and seeing that views seemed abnormally low, I wanted to kind of compare to other channels. Now, when you do this, you cannot compare to channels that are giant, because YouTube channels that are giant usually don't get affected. You know what I mean? They're in a whole different algorithm on YouTube. They get so many viral views from people just searching and being suggested and all of that nonsense. It's really more the average YouTuber that would get affected by something like this. So what I started doing was comparing myself to other similar YouTube channels, and particularly, as I told you guys, there's some YouTube channels that I've been watching recently as I play Street Fighter 6. What I would do is every time that I was going to play a character in ranked and I wanted to maybe learn some new tech or new strategies, I would go on YouTube and search for videos of the top players using those characters, the top ranked. Like, for example, search for the top ranked Blanca, the top ranked Honda, the top ranked Lily, and then watch gameplay videos of them to see how they're playing and what strategies they're employing and all of that. And I would learn a lot, and that's actually how I've gotten, I feel, as good as I have, is because I've been absorbing this tech, watching videos kind of the night before that I play a ranked set, which is great, okay? And, so, in truth, it's not a huge deal for me, but I'm like, let me compare myself to some other YouTube channels to see what's going on. So, particularly, these channels typically that upload these kind of matches, what they do is they have the archived matches that people have played, and they'll upload them with titles and everything so you know that this is them. They'll do like a montage style video where they'll edit like 10, 15, 20 matches together from these top players. I've been watching these videos over the months. Typically, within a day, the videos would have hundreds of views, and sometimes, depending on the player and the character, the videos would get thousands of views within just a couple of days. Okay? It depends on, obviously, on the character, the player, etc. You know, a lot more people are probably apt to watch like a video about Zangief or Blanca, who are characters that aren't as common, as opposed to a character about Ken, who everyone sees a million times a day and everyone knows how to play with, you see? So, what I noticed, because I directly compared myself to what was going on with these other channels, their views were insanely low. So, for example, this, one particular channel, and there's more than one that I watch, but there was one channel where distinctly, this channel, when they upload a new video, they get hundreds of views within a day, and like I said, within a few days, thousands. They had videos that were up for 4 or 5 days over the course of the last week that had 20 views. 20 views? Where did all the subscribers go? Right? Like, the channel has thousands of subs. No one clicked on the video. That doesn't even make sense. You see what I'm saying? So, how do you go from hundreds to thousands of views to 20? Right? How do I go from playing a game that's a popular new release that everyone wanted to see me play to see if it's good, to only getting 2,000 views on part 1 of the playthrough? That doesn't make any sense, right? Now, as I explained to you guys a few days ago, for me, it actually hasn't negatively affected me, when it comes to, income and everything. Everything seems fine. YouTube has not stated, oh, ad revenue is down. And you guys have been very supportive on the streams. So the view count hasn't affected me. But of course you get people asking, well, what happened? Is Lies of P suck? Is that why people aren't watching it? No, please understand. It's the opposite. The game is great. There's just something that happened this week during the Lies of P playthrough that really negatively affected it for some odd fucking reason. And it really is frustrating because I want people to know how good this game is. And I really wish that more people, I wish more views would have counted on those videos so people would have known, oh, the game's better, let's check it out, right? I hate to say it, but yes, initial view counts actually is a distinct way that people judge quality on YouTube, and that's stupid. It really is stupid, because I don't think that how many views a video has is representative of how good the content of the video is, or how good of the content creator is either. Some of the people out there that are the most popular are morons, who make crap content for more morons. So morons support morons, and then you end up getting some of the worst content on the internet. At the same time, a game like Lies of P was kind of a game that everyone was like, what if? What if it's good or not? I wonder. We're on the fence. We won't know till it's out. And I know that my viewers were waiting for me to play this game and wanted to see if it was good. And I'm worried that, what if someone stayed away for a week, wasn't watching, and they come back, they're like, oh, now I'm finally going to watch Phil play Lies of P. Wait, what? Part 1 has 2,000 views? That's terrible. That's a new game with no views. Obviously, the game sucks. No, that's not the case. YouTube fucked up somehow. So anyway, here's what's happened, okay? In the last 48 hours, YouTube fixed it. So here's what I mean. So, basically, my Lies of P playthrough only had around 2,000 views on part 1 within like 2 days, and then it kind of almost froze. Within almost the entirety of that first week, it had barely hit 3,000 views. And you're like, wow, so that means it sucks, right? But now all of a sudden, within the last 24 hours, part 1 of Lies of P went from like 3,200 views to 4,000 views, like boom. Like, wait, what? So I noticed this all of a sudden. I'm like, why am I getting hundreds of views after only a couple of hours? This happened over the course of the last day. I was like, wait, what? Now it's at 34. Now it's at 3,500. Went on my dinner break, came back. Now it's at 3,800. Wait, what? So I don't know if YouTube is backloading views or if YouTube is actually just counting views properly now. It could be one or the other. I would guess they're probably counting views properly now. That would be my guess. And so I hate to say it, when this kind of stuff happens on YouTube, do they go back and fix their error? First of all, do they ever admit anything was wrong? No. YouTube literally never admits they fucked something up. Not once have they done that. They always say, oh no, everything's working, the algorithm's working, we don't know what you're talking about. But then magically the problems get fixed. So it's like, don't admit ever fault, but then fix the faults anyway, right? I noticed, because I did check out, again, some of these Street Fighter channels that I watch, their views are back to normal. Now they're uploading a video, it's getting hundreds of views within just an hour or two. And now, they're, like I said, the video views are getting better. It's like back to how it was. So it wasn't just me, and there's distinct evidence that the issue's fixed. So hopefully now, moving forward, as I'm putting out new videos, you'll check them out, and you'll see a representative, proper view on there. You know what I'm saying? But maybe not. because we don't know what caused it, and YouTube, again, will never talk about it. But I wanted to give you some positive, I mean, that is positive news. It sounds like the views are now working properly again. So hopefully people won't judge videos by views, especially if you're not a giant YouTuber who just gets views for no fucking reason. You know what I'm saying? Dabian says, I thought YouTube counts views by watch time. Here's the thing. Who knows? They could. Maybe they don't. Who knows? You would never know. YouTube changes their algorithms frequently and literally will never tell you. They'll every once in a while put out one of their stupid blog posts that kind of half explains what they're doing. But they frequently change things behind the scenes and don't tell anyone, and it breaks entire things and changes the entire ways things work. I mean, yeah, at one point, videos were based on engagement statistics. Like, if you watch a certain percentage of a video, it would count better or something. I mean, who knows at this point? Right? It really, no idea. And I don't think that anyone will ever get a definitive answer because that's something YouTube just doesn't answer. They won't. They're not transparent. It's always been a problem with YouTube. They're not transparent about how the site works or when they change it. So therefore, everyone's just left wondering and shrugging. You know, there was a point in time, you know, when I started on YouTube where I was doing really well for myself. My formula of 10-minute long gameplay videos, right, with live improv commentary was all the rage, and it filled right into the algorithm. Whatever the algorithm was on YouTube, my videos were frequently recommended, were frequently, you know, showing up. And then one day YouTube flipped the switch, and all of my videos that used to get recommended completely fell out of recommendations. I used to have Spider-Man Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions Part 1 used to be the most recommended Spider-Man gameplay video on YouTube, and then one day they flipped the switch, and it just never showed up and recommended ever again. Part 1 of my Need for Speed playthrough from the launch of PS4, that was when John Rambo and I did co-op in all the PS4 launch titles. That one historically also got hundreds of thousands of views a year because it was recommended from that game. It was like the best recommended video of that game, like a day one, you know, experience with that game. Gone, just like that. What did I do to get my videos out of YouTube recommended? Nothing. They changed it and didn't tell anyone what they changed. So is it length of video? Is it style of video? Is it a thumbnail? Is it clickbait title? Is it clickbait tags? You know, what is it? No one knows. YouTube doesn't say shit. Okay? So, yeah. But anyway, the good news is, it seems the view bug is fixed. Again, not that it was a horrendous thing for me. It didn't really affect me big picture. But it was annoying, particularly this last week with Lies of P. I honestly will tell you, I believe more people would have checked out my playthrough of Lies of P if the view count was correct. Because I would tell you right now, I bet, not kidding, probably around double views from what you can see on the video right now. How is it that within the first 24 to 48 hours, Part 1 got 2,000 views and barely got 3,000 within 5 to 6 days, and then all of a sudden within a day gained 1,000 views? Does that seem to make much sense? Of course it doesn't. So, it is what it is. I hope that you guys will still enjoy the content regardless of the bullshit view count that doesn't mean anything. Alright? And Lies of P has been exceptionally good.
Typically helps me more than anything.